Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today the Overwatch team released a new developer update talking about the upcoming Torbjorn Rework, which is now available on the PTR, and I'm here to discuss whether I think it's going to be a success or not. Before I get into all that though, there were a few things that Jeff said in this update that I did not agree with, and I want to address those before I talk about the rework. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So just like Symmetra, Torbjorn has finally gotten a rework and a lot of the abilities in his kit have been changed. So the whole aim of this rework is to make him more viable on both attack and defense, because right now people see Torbjorn as sort of a troll pick, and it's unfortunate because half the time it's true, people pick Torbjorn just to spite their teammates or to throw it off the map or whatnot. So Torb mains have gotten a very negative sort of reputation, just like Symmetra mains. But what I find interesting is what Jeff said in this update. Have a listen.
So the goal with all of these changes is to make Torb a more acceptable pick on both attack and defense and less map or role dependent than he was previously. So hopefully we'll see Torb being played in a variety of new ways. We think we were successful with this with Symmetra, where we really changed her presence on the battlefield and her perception with players.
Hold up, wait, are we even playing the same game? Because in my experience, the Symmetra rework has not done anything to change people's perceptions of her, and in terms of whether it was successful or not, that's arguable. Because there's elements in her new kit which I agree are much better in terms of making her viable, but at the same time there are a lot of things in her old kit which I thought were better than what she has currently. Is Symmetra suddenly a must pick? Is she being played in the pro tournaments? Is she being picked by pro players? Are people begging to have a Symmetra every game? No. So successful, right?
We think the recent support balance changes that we made were extremely successful and really changed the game in a great way.
Wait, Jeff, are you talking about that Mercy nerf and how it absolutely killed the hero and meant that she can't be played as a main healer anymore and created an uproar in an entire community of players? Or even just putting Mercy aside, the fact that Brigida is still so dominant in the game and the fact that you have to run basically an Ana or a Moira as a main healer every game, how exactly is that so successful and so game changing? I don't really get it.
LFG and endorsements, I think they were extremely successful. I think the player bases like them.
So let me tell you guys something. Ever since the LFG system came out, I haven't used it once in competitive, and the reason why is because I play on a smaller region, so the Oceanic region, where there simply aren't enough active players for me to find a group where people actually want to fill different roles and for us to actually find a game in a timely manner, because if we actually found a group, it would take upwards of like an hour or more just to find a game, which is ridiculous in my opinion. And as for endorsements, I think it's quite a stretch to say it was successful. Literally nobody is checking for anyone else's endorsement levels when they're in game. It hasn't drastically changed the levels of toxicity from what I've experienced, and I think it's just a quick way for people to get XP. I don't mean to be negative, but that's just how it is. People don't really care about the endorsement system. There's not that much of a reward to it, so people just endorse whoever just for that quick grab of XP, honestly.
Really looking forward to feedback as all this stuff makes its way to the PTR. As always, we're reading everything on social media, we're reading our forums, we love hearing from you.
Or do you mean that you read what you want to read? Because I'm pretty sure there's been hundreds of forum posts just talking about the Mercy situation alone, not even including posts talking about how imbalanced the different DPS heroes are, especially Doomfist, or how broken Brigida is, and how nobody has issued any statement or acknowledged anyone's feedback on these matters, especially when it comes to people who actually play those heroes. Anyway, those were just a few of the things I wanted to clarify in the dev update. I'm not trying to roast Jeff in this video, but there were just a few things that he said that was just like, that's not really true. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're playing a different game. Maybe the dev team have their own server where like everything runs perfectly and everything's balanced ideally. Whereas in the real world, in the real game, it's a bit different. But anyways, now I'm not a Torb player myself, but let's just quickly run through some of the changes as part of this rework. So first of all, you can now throw your turret to deploy it and it will be a permanent level 2 turret. You can no longer upgrade it, as you can see here. Torb's new secondary ability is called Overload, and it's very similar to his old ultimate where he gets increased attack speed, movement speed, as well as armor. Last but not least, Torb's ultimate is still called Molten Core, and he literally nuts on the ground. Do you see that right there? That hot, fiery nut? I think Blizzard should rename this ability to Molten Nut, but I'm not sure if that's PG enough. So anyway, this ability does have limited ammo, and it's supposed to deal more damage to enemies with armor, which is definitely an interesting element of this ability. Now, do I think this Torb rework will be successful? I think only time will tell when we actually get to play him in competitive, but for the time being, I do think it will be more successful than the Symmetra rework. For one, Torb doesn't really have to rely so much on his turret anymore, and it is more flexible in terms of him being able to place it in places where he couldn't previously, and on top of that, the fact that he has Overload, which is now an ability on a cooldown, means that he can go in and out of fights and not be so reliant on other people protecting him or his turret. I am sort of on the fence about his ultimate, so I think it will be better on attack because Torb no longer has to set up in order to be effective. He can just go in with his team and literally not on the ground or not on the enemy team, and he'll instantly be doing something. But on defense, what I've found with current Torb is that his ultimate is actually pretty strong. So when you're like securing a zone or something and Torb ulties, his turret is a force to be reckoned with. So now that that's gone, it'll be interesting to see how his new ability is going to play out. Overall though, I think this rework is looking pretty good, and for any of you guys who are Torbjorn aficionados, I hope you guys are looking forward to this rework as well, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Anyway, that's it for my video today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.
One shot, two shot, now in the line. One shot, two shot, now survive.